PBS 1980, PBS 2026. It's Sunday. I'm Akorn. Welcome back to the idiocracy that is modern day society. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe, and let's get into today's show. Mask, smash, and grab robbers don't look so scary when jewelry store owner pulls his gun and open fires. The quintet ran away for their lives.
But first, catch a look at this. Surveillance video captured this wild moment when a jewelry store owner opened fire on a group of thieves in Madera near Fresno. This happened on Thursday when the masked man broke into the store only to be met by the gun-wielding owner who was ready to protect his business. Those thieves ran away with about $170,000 in jewelry. Police were able to recover the getaway car, but not the thieves yet.
I shared a meme making fun of the UK government. Okay, Grandma, let's get you to jail. It might be a meme, but it's not a joke. Me, almost late for work. The guy in front of me at the green light. What's going on? Teacher lists shocking skills third graders no longer have, like knowing their parents' names or how to count money. I actually watched the video that was in this article, and to basically sum up what she said and what she has seen in her classes, because this woman is a teacher, she said many of the kids, they cannot read a clock, like a regular analog clock, which many of us already know that because we've heard about it many times before, but they also do not know their address, because she'd ask them, what is your address for forms or whatever? And they just say, I don't know. They don't know what year they were born. They can't tie their shoes. She was saying that a lot of them just have like the Velcro straps and things like that. I guess slip-on shoes too. I guess that's why they used Crocs in the movie Idiocracy. They don't know their parents' name or where they're from. Where they're from, they're third grade, okay. But their parents' names? Really? They don't know how to count money, whether it's change or even cash, because all they're used to using is credit cards and Google Pay and things like that. And another major one we've mentioned on the channel many times is that they can't write or read in cursive. And that pretty much goes for all the grade levels though, even up into a lot of the mid to late millennials for that matter. Which, by the way, I just found out recently that apparently AI also can't read cursive, or at the very least not very well, because all of us scribble differently, right? So just remember to not have good penmanship. And speaking about the current generation not being able to count money, guys, it's not just third graders. This guy here is about to lose it, because not only can this woman not do basic math, but I mean, even if you weren't great with math, it should have been pretty quick to realize that she's completely wrong. But instead, this guy's trying to explain it to her.
I'm sorry, what are you saying now?
I was asking about your New Year's resolution, and I said that mine was that I'm gonna put a quarter in the jar every single day for the next year, which is 365 days. And at the end of the year, I'm gonna have over $10,000. A quarter a day. That's all it takes.
I'm sorry, baby. Your math is not mathing in any way possible.
My math is fine. It's 25 cents every
Times
day
365.
of 2025 of the year 2025.
How many, wait, how many days in a year?
365 days.
Okay. Times 0.25. Multiply that for me.
Is 10,000. And then
baby, let's just do it simple. Stop talking. Stop. 365 times 1. We'll make it simple. What is that?
365.
Got it. And a quarter is a quarter of 1.
A quarter is like a quarter is 25 cents. 25.
Yes. 25 cents is how much of a dollar?
It's not multiplying by 1. It's multiplying by 25.
No, baby. So it's even less than multiplying by 1. It's multiplying by 0.25.
You're multiplying it by 1 like a penny. That doesn't work that way. It's 25. It's going to be $10,000 at the end of the year. That's my New Year's resolution.
Math is, I am math. Like you know what you're doing. My head is going to explode. Baby, 365 times a quarter each day is nowhere near $10,000.
Yes, it is.
Are you talking about
Get a calculator out. Get a calculator.
I am a calculator.
You're not a calculator.
Baby, 365 times maybe $25 a day could be close to like 10,000. It's like 9,000 something. But 25 cents a day for a year.
It's 25 pennies. You're doing it by 1 penny. Like one. 1 times 360. Yeah, that's going to be...
I
but
can't.
25, multiply that every single day for 365 days is going to be around $10,000.
Like, we're visibly going to record like a stroke. Like, I cannot.
St. Charles County judge agrees to resign in 2 years after wearing Elvis wig and politicking in court. Judge Matthew Thornhill admitted to wearing an Elvis wig in court and discussing his political campaign, among other misconduct. Hear me out. A restaurant called Booths because they understand that nobody wants a table. I have to fully agree with this, and I definitely like these style booths where they're better separated, especially with how people are these days. This was in my dentist waiting room. For some reason, I think it makes him look even more creepy. Maybe that's how they should have made him in that movie. Meet a socialist Mandani-style mayor just elected to run West Coast's 5th largest city. Yep, that's right. And of course, it's Seattle. What's this thing on jeans for? So that your short friend can grab you when there's lots of people and not get lost in the crowd. Well, they might not be wrong. That could be one use. Here's a video of a fully autonomous bus in China that operates without a steering wheel or a driver's cabin, and it's running 24/7 on urban roads. Harambe's revenge. Some apes don't die laying down. You think that would turn things around? The practice of murdering horses to make horseradish has to stop. I honestly could hear them saying something like that. Democratic Congresswoman charged with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds, making illegal campaign contributions, DOJ. Democrat Representative Sheila McCormick of Florida has been indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of stealing $5 million in Federal Emergency Management Agency funds, which she is accused of laundering to support her 2021 congressional campaign. It's nothing really out of the norm, it's just that it wasn't supposed to go to her pockets, apparently. They must have had it earmarked for somebody else, because most of it never reaches the people that actually need it. And we've definitely seen that in the last couple of years, too. When you Google human clothes, and buy the first outfit that comes up. You know, more than the clothes itself, what in the world is wrong with his leg? Because it always looks like it's overextended. I swear that guy has to be an android. If any of you guys have new cars, you better make sure that your battery never goes dead, because apparently now on some models they've completely eliminated any kind of backup key to unlock the doors in case the battery dies or some other electrical failure happens. This guy here shows all the things that he has to do just to be able to get back into his car when his battery died.
They are. Instead of having a simple key like this, you just insert in the door somewhere. You know, key's never gonna not work, right? You know, sometimes you unlock your lock button, that might not work, but at least you're gonna get in with the key. This Ford, as you see right here, has a push button. So it has the regular lock and unlock button. But to get in, you press this button, and then the door pops open, and then you grab that little handle. And I mean, that's as easy as that's gonna get, right? But what happens when you need to get in the car? And let's just say the battery's dead, right? So where do you insert? Oh, actually that's funny. It's a blank. I forgot about that. So yeah, where do you insert the would-be key, right? Don't worry, Ford is 4 steps ahead of you with this. So you just take this little panel off, and of course your car's locked out. So grab that jump box that you would have in your car, because you know you locked it, right? And you're gonna jump start it. Jump this literally with the jump pack. And then that will open the front, which then lets you jump the battery. That then lets you power the door to press the button to get back in your car. Because a key just would have been way too difficult.
Foreign investor quietly buys $65 million in iconic Malibu real estate that was destroyed by the wildfires. No additional comment needed. 8-year-old me laughing at the Amish for living off-grid. Adult me realizing they got it right. In many ways, yes. And in most ways, they're far better off than the vast majority of the country.
Abortion is healthcare.
That's like saying human trafficking is free transportation. Conservative uncles waiting for woke nephews to open their mouth about literally anything at the dinner table this Thanksgiving. Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was a bit younger. When you call customer service and a clanker picks up. I can't believe I've lived far enough into the future to learn the first slur for robots. There was a past episode a few weeks ago that had a similar meme about clankers, and I hadn't heard the term before, but there was some of you guys in the comments that if I remember right, I think you guys said that it comes from some of the newer Star Wars movies or something. Canada's killing field. Yeah, that's where they killed over 300 ostriches for absolutely no reason, other than just to destroy the farmer, because they claimed that all of those perfectly healthy birds that they monitored for several months, I believe, and none of them showed any signs of anything, but it's so bad it could contaminated the soil. So if the ostriches survive or more are brought into there, guess what? Oh, they could have to come back and eliminate those too. You know, guys, it's pretty bad when animals have to be the ones to try to teach people to stop being stupid. Another people of Yellowstone. Yellowstone tourist suffers consequences after getting too close to bison. He thought he was at the petting zoo. There's just more and more of these idiots all the time. Show me a man that gets rich by being a politician, and I'll show you a crook. Harry Truman. Michigan adopts sex education standards recommending students taught gender identity and sexual orientation. The Michigan Health Education Standards Guidelines were adopted on Thursday after a 6-2 vote, despite pushback from some parents and pastors who argue they undermine parental rights and religious liberties. You really think they care about that? They haven't cared about any of those things for a long time, let alone now. I don't mean just Michigan either. Trump plans to meet with Mandani, says he'll work something out with New York City's mayor-elect. I'm sure he will. The Punkel machine gun was patented in 1718, 73 years before the Second Amendment. This invalidates the argument that the founders couldn't envision firearms more advanced than muskets. It could fire 9 rounds per minute, 6 more than a musket. It would fire both round and square bullets. That sounds like something that YouTube channel Tato Flatermouse would test. It was too expensive and difficult to mass produce. Never saw use in the field. Heck, I'd like to have one now even, especially depending on what size those rounds were. Know your parasites. Well, they're absolutely right, but that ain't gonna get rid of them by any means. We all know how the younger generations don't know how to write checks, balance a checkbook, and apparently now some can't even count money. But this woman here isn't talking about any of that. She's talking about Apple Pay. Things like this is what their generations grew up with. You guys just have to listen to this.
If you use Apple Pay, honestly, just be so careful. When you use Apple Pay, that's real money. If you have your credit card connected, That's where the money is being sourced. It's not like a special form of Apple Pay, Apple dollars. Why they don't just say this is real money while you're paying, I don't know. I thought that I had accumulated a bunch of Apple dollars to use for Apple Pay by, spending so much time on my phone, giving my data very freely and willingly. I didn't think that was real money till I checked my credit card bill. I've been spending money like I'm a friggin' millionaire. I got hair moves. I have straight hair. My hair doesn't even hold.
Point of view. Someone puts the entire Shrek script in the special instructions section of their order. I wonder if any of the employees stood there and actually read the whole thing. Florida sheriff defends McDonald's worker who shot customer in the neck. It was just a mess. I actually saw his statement to the press, and of course this is Sheriff Grady. I would have put it in here, but it was a longer video. Brian Crestine, September 30th, 2025. Imagine being so offended by this unifying segment of Dead End Paranormal Park, a show on Netflix, that you are calling for a boycott of Netflix. Conservatives are snowflakes. They're afraid of everything. Brian Crestine, September 17th, 2025. Disney ABC just caved and pulled Jimmy Kimmel for political reasons. Nexstar, which owns the CW plus 200 local ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox stations, is part of the same machine. Boycott Disney, boycott Nexstar, boycott their advertisers. Hit them where it hurts. I couldn't care less what people's opinions are, but at least stop being a hypocrite. I don't care what side of the aisle people's on. Kansas and Missouri can sell personal data to private company through decades-old federal law. These two states earned over $1.3 million selling the names, addresses, and birth dates from driver data. Every time you get a driver's license or register a vehicle, you give the State Department's motor vehicles your personal information. But did you know that your personal data is being sold? Yeah, and then they turn it and claim that it's hackers and some data breach. But the fact of the matter is, the governments have always been more dangerous than any other person or groups that exist out there. Board member behind Cracker Barrel DEI rebranding disaster resigns after pressure. When you get tired at work, but remember who you're doing this for. Yep, that is the absolute truth of it too. SNAP benefits update. USDA to completely deconstruct program. United States Department of Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins has said the department will completely deconstruct the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program in an effort to remove fraud and corruption from the program. Let me know in the comments, guys, how long do you think it'll be before the digital ID is proposed as the only solution? OnlyFans models have billboards now, next to a school, too. Today's society. And if that wasn't bad enough, University of Washington professor defends inviting OnlyFans star, whatever her name is, to speak at lecture hall of 1,200 students. Must have been career day. Here's a review that I saw that somebody left for an app. Says Croatia will be a nuclear power before this app works. This app is worse than using half-ply toilet paper. And I love the fact of how many thumbs up it got on that. French farmers decide to take matters into their own hands and get rid of an illegal camp setup. Apparently, a whole bunch of people descended on their land and started setting up all kinds of campsites for trailers and RVs and even tents, let alone all the other vehicles driving around everywhere. So, they got fed up with it and used one of the greatest weapons that a farmer has: liquid manure spreaders. Patient showed signs of life during organ harvesting in New Jersey, House members allege. New Jersey Sharing Network, an organ donation group, is under investigation by a congressional committee for aggressive collection practices. Guys, if they are collecting organs, what would be considered an aggressive collection practice? There's a reason there's so many news articles and stuff about people waking up while they're having their organs removed. Or at the very least, while they're already being taken to or already in the operating room. I've had multiple of those type articles on past shows. I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. If people understood some about most of these things listed here, especially the 4 at the bottom and maybe the 2 operations there in the row above it, they would begin to have some understanding of what is really taking place and why we've arrived at the place we are today. Government. It killed 250 million people last century, but please feel free to lecture me about owning firearms. And I'll end today's show with this. Once you understand that the solution wasn't created to solve the problem, but rather that the problem was intentionally created for the solution to be rolled out, then you will begin to comprehend the magnitude of evil in the people behind everything. This is very true. You usually hear this referred to as problem, reaction, solution. And yes, going back in history and even recent history, we see this applied time and time and time again. However, most people only apply this to a specific type of events. But all of us need to take a big step back and look at the big picture, because all of these seemingly separate events that's brought everything to the point we are now, they weren't separate. They were all just individual cogs in the overall machine. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe. All of you who are going to be traveling, shopping, and everything else in the next few weeks, keep your head on a swivel. Things are getting crazier by the day, and you never know what people are capable of. That's it for today's show, but I'll see you guys back here next Saturday. I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week. This is Akorn, over and out.